Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New Hampshire Business Show. My name is Chris Pastrana, and today we're here with Marybeth Hallinan of Voicings Adventure Singing Camp. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going great. I'm really happy to be here.
Absolutely.
It's air conditioned and it's really hot and humid out.
Yeah. So let's get started. I want to know a little bit about you, and then
Yeah.
I want to talk about the singing camp.
Yeah. It's an interesting intersection of modalities, if you will. I live in Peterborough, and I have my day job is also a synthesized gig. I teach private lessons of piano and mostly piano and voice. I have a couple other instruments, and I have choirs. I direct choirs, community choir, Two Rivers Community Choir, and also I'm the music director at the Unitarian Church in Peterborough. And what I noticed over the years is people love to come together and sing, just absolutely love it. And the other way that Voicings was born 3 years ago this August was 4 or 5 years ago. There was a bunch of stuff going on in my life and I was really struggling with depression. And I decided to get back into hiking, which I hadn't done since I had kids. My kids were, launched, and so I started, I'd work in the studio all day teaching and run up Packmanadnock, which is really close to my house.
Yeah.
And run up, back down, and suddenly my mood shifted, like for real. Like, you could do certain things and you get in a good mood once in a while, and then it fades back. But my mood really, really shifted, and it's brain chemistry. Really all of the research that's out there now about being out in nature.
Yeah.
And I can't help but sing. Pretty much everything I do is singing. So I thought, I want to do this more. And so I just threw out the idea to my contacts and said, hey, we're going to do this hiking and singing camp. Who's in? And there were about 12 people who joined that first camp, and it was incredible. It was the most transformative experience for all of these people who happened to have been women. It's not, any gender can participate. But 5 consecutive days was the original camp, and it was singing every day, hiking between 2 and 6 miles, depending on the day, and being together. So the synthesis of the brain chemistry in nature and then the brain chemistry of singing together was this incredible exponential reset. And that's how I came up with this, reconnect, reclaim, renew after that first camp, because those are the words that everybody kept using. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like a new person. Oh my gosh, I'm back in my body. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. So then I started to launch other ones in Colorado and Massachusetts. We have a really popular camp in Hollis at Beaver Brook Association, which is a beautiful, beautiful plot of preserved land.
Yeah.
And that camp is so special. It's over Columbus Day weekend. We actually donate 20% of our intake. We give it right back to Beaver Brook because there's just an incredible organization, an incredible space.
Yeah.
I want to keep it around for a while. And the camps are day camps, so that if you have a life, you can go back to it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We have started branching out this year and offered some retreats because people seem to want it. So we did a retreat in California in February, which was also really amazing, in the Marin Headlands. We'll do that again next February. And also we have some collaborations. That was in collaboration with a tremendous yoga teacher. So it's hiking, it's singing, it's yoga, it's mindfulness, and it's community. It's really just being together, and people are very drawn to it. So what I thought was just something that I could share, that's something that I love, is actually becoming something much bigger, like a moth to light. We really need to have these resets, especially with how assaultive social media and the world is right now, and how much we're so divided. We need these resets. So people originally think that that this is what a fun thing to do. It's actually a very important thing to do.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, right, Mother Teresa says, if we don't have peace inside, there can't be peace in the world. Well, if we don't have a center, right, if we're not healthy from the inside, we cannot be of any use to the rest of the world and the planet.
Yeah.
So it seems like an enormous claim, but I've witnessed it time and again at each of these camps.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you had mentioned you go out to California and all these places. Are you doing these individually, or are there like different groups that kind of?
I am.
Act
So
in of
right
themselves?
now, I am the main leader.
Okay.
Yeah, and I collaborate. I have several friends in all these locales, and that's how they just sort of. I'm following the thread, if you will.
Yeah.
So I have a really good friend and teacher in Marin County. A remarkable teacher in Boulder, so we've been there. I do have a friend who's in Georgia. We'll be visiting Georgia next summer. She owns an inn right near the AT, so the Appalachian Trail. So we'll be doing a snippet of the Appalachian Trail next summer, which will be amazing as well. Yeah. And that will be a retreat. We'll actually be, have places to stay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is
like
super
that.
fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So. You said there's a lot of singing, and what do you guys sing?
We sing some part songs, we sing some rounds, we sing a lot to do with nature and a lot to do with personal power, even though that little catchphrase is a little overused. But it is, what the text we sing is also a chemical reset, right? You can change your mind, you can change the self-talk with just a new phrase. So I do a lot of songs that are fairly simple. Although we have, especially in the 5-day camps, we sing 4-part songs in the woods. It's so amazing. So rounds, in chants, kind of empowering chants, songs about nature. There's a lot of videos on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Voicings Camp, Voicings Adventure Singing Camp on Facebook, and some on the website. That have, cool. You can see, there's a slideshow with one of these incredible 4-part songs we did. A beautiful piece called Great Trees by Peter and Mary Alice Amadon, who live in Vermont and are prolific songwriters for small groups. Yeah, so that's the kind of music. Yeah, it's not, and campers will interject songs, but it's not songs you're going to hear necessarily on the radio. Sometimes our old camp songs, from childhood, will creep into the set list, which is also really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. It's very flowy, so you get a lot of. Yeah. I'm assuming I've never been on one that whatever people feel like singing kind of just starts.
Exactly. And the weeks this week-long camp, which I'm just going to hold this up. This week-long camp coming up in August is really the most transformative of them all, and the days have different structures. So the first day is literally we're under a tent or outdoors in a covered space for 2 hours learning, and I just teach a whole bunch of the material. Then we'll have an afternoon hike, and then alternate. So those are the alternate day schedules. Tuesdays and Thursdays we're outside. It's all day, sauntering, singing, and stretching. And we hike a little, stop, sing a little, hike a little more, stop, sing a little. Find all these magical places along the trails. One of our favorite spots is Bald Mountain and Willard Pond in Hancock for this particular camp.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, since you're hiking out in, I'm assuming, nature trails and stuff, you ever worried about the wildlife and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's not a lot of wildlife that are going to come after a group of 8 people who are singing. Yeah. In fact, at Willard Pond, it was a really somewhat rainy day, and we were rehearsing underneath a canopy, and we had walked. Some of the trail is in undercover, so we'd walked a little ways, and we cut the hiking short because there were threat of thunder showers. Mm-hmm. But then we went swimming in the light rain afterwards, and we're 3 or 4 of us in the water singing, and the loons came right over to us. Yeah. So the wildlife isn't a problem. The ticks. People are often concerned about ticks, but we just cover up. Nothing. Nothing accessible. We check each other out at the end of the day. And
it's good.
Yeah.
Keep our eye out for coyotes.
Yeah.
Those little.
Yeah. Yeah. But as I said, we are. When you're singing, like I said, 8 to 12 humans hiking along, the wildlife is they make themselves quite scarce.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah. That's good. Cool. Man, I don't even know where to go from there. It just sounds like a lot of fun. Because you had mentioned it earlier with, the need to get out into the wilderness and, hike and sing and all that stuff and just reconnect with the wilderness in like a small community.
Right.
People are so disconnected from it now because they don't realize, for all intents and purposes, like 200 years or so, we've lived, kind of in bigger cities and all this stuff, but that's like the tiniest portion of how we've lived, like through the entirety of, being humans.
Yes.
Where being outside in small groups of, probably no more than 20, 30 people was like how we lived.
How we existed, yeah.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden we're thrown into big cities with fast cars and, danger literally everywhere.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Japanese research studies. It's probably one of the highest incidents of suicide in Japan, because their society, in order to rebuild their society after the war, they put business and commerce and country over personal needs, and which was an incredible accomplishment. They have this highly functioning society, and yet there's a huge uptick in suicide.
Yeah.
So they started this study, and I think I have the Japanese name right, Shinrin-yoku, and it's been translated to forest bathing, which is not the accurate translation, but it works because it's accessible for our minds, our English minds. But it is basically it's a 10-year study that took people out in parks and had them sit in nature and be quiet and listen and write and reflect, and it's changed people's brain chemistry.
Yeah. And
so there are all sorts of forest bathing schools literally popping up around the world, but because now it's validated that time outside, actually your brain, your body needs that time outside. So I don't go to that side of it. I just I don't need to be certified,
Yeah.
I just know organically, and I share it organically, and people experience it for themselves, how much they literally just return to this. Oh, here I am, I totally forgot what this felt like. I forgot what I feel like. Now I know.
Yeah.
And so whether it's a long weekend or this full day, full week camp coming up in August, it's remarkable. You should join us, even just for a day. Come and hang out.
Maybe. Yeah. Sometime I'll give it a shot. Not much of a singer.
Yeah, you don't have to be and you don't have to be a singer. Anybody, a singer, singers, non-singers, because I teach singing, so I'm really good at helping teasing out a voice, and we don't sing things that are really high and inaccessible. We sing really accessible music, and you also don't need to be a hiker to join us, right? So people go, oh, I don't sing, oh, I can't hike. It's really, that's why I say it's singing and sauntering and stretching, because it's really it's not a goal-oriented hike. It's it's
just kind of meandering around.
We're walking. Yep. And we're walking. We've done North Pack 2 years running, and it's a hard hike. It's a 6-mile round trip hike. So that's part of the stretching. It's not just physically doing, yoga poses. It's pushing yourself also just a little further than you think you can go, because that's also where you reconnect to, right, that whole Winnie the Pooh, you're stronger than you believe, you're braver than you think, right? I think I have that correct.
Yeah.
We have way more inside than we know, and it gets buried. It has to be buried because we have to function. But to give yourself this gift of reopening it's pretty cool. Yeah. And now it's documented through science.
Yeah, which is weird, because it's one of those things where I'm like, do we really need to document that being outside in the nature
our analytical selves
really good?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yes, we do as a society, don't you think? Right? Everybody wants things, in boxes with and that's great. And now it is, right? And it's also all the research that's come out about singing and the resurgence and the revitalization of community choirs.
Yeah.
You go to most communities, and there are at least one, if not 2 or 3. The bigger cities, there are several, opportunities for people to sing.
Yeah.
And people are flocking to them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like, I've never been a big singer, as I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
I would love to have been a very good singer. Probably something I could work on, but whatever, So, yeah, I could see that being helpful, especially for a group. Going back to the idea of, flow and kind of existing as a community.
Yeah, exactly.
When everyone's kind of just doing the same thing, and they're all playing off each other. You know, one person starts singing, so everyone just kind of starts singing.
That's exactly what happens.
You know, it's a good little community.
Yeah. And, you know, you were talking about how, you know, we used to survive in little groups in tribes of 20 and 30. Well, also singing was always a part of that.
Yeah.
It's always in indigenous cultures. Singing and community are not separate.
Yeah.
And so this also reconnects to that sort of tribal, you know, it's in our DNA to sing. You sing in the shower, you sing along with the radio, everybody sings.
Yeah.
You know, we've singing has been separated into singers and non-singers, you know, because of the rise of music schools, which are amazing, right? If you've got that talent and you want to study it, that's remarkable. But there's also been a divide, an us and a them, a singer and non-singer, and I don't buy that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's really a singer. If you can speak, you can sing.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, as I was saying, a lot of it comes down to, especially outside of like modern culture, it was like not a whole ton to do. So if you didn't have singing, there was literally not much you could do.
Yeah. Right.
So it's important, and you can pass, you know, again, like you said, culture and stories, and a lot of that gets passed down.
Yes.
Because it's easier to remember that type of stuff when it's in a song. You know, so yeah.
How about those songs you learned in elementary school? I don't know if you learned this song, but it was 50 Nifty United States to memorize, like all of the states of the...
Probably,
you know,
long time ago, yeah.
All these songs, the alphabet song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Twinkle, Twinkle. I mean, everybody, you know, or you know, your favorite video game, the song in your favorite video game. You know, my piano studio, kids, all they want to do is play these songs they hear in their video game. They're all over the place, and they think, I can't play the piano. Oh, yes, you can. You know, oh, yes, here it is, right here. You know, this is this song.
Yeah.
It's cool. I think that, you know, there isn't, I think the whole problem with music is us and them. You know, music should be in us. And it can be.
Yeah, and like I said, when you kind of get to the point where we are now, where music is more entertainment than kind of that really big part of your life, you do get it broken down into that structure of they're very talented, especially when you get to like the popular culture.
Sure,
you know,
the American Idol and The Voice, and
and you have like huge stars who their entire, you know, millions and millions of dollars around their singing.
Yeah.
And then there's people, say someone like me who's like, no, I'm not. I am not going to sing in public because that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it does really
absolutely, it separates.
Split that up. So, yeah.
Yeah. And those are great, too. You know, some of my best friends watch American Idol and watch The Voice.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people do. It's a big show.
Yeah. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I'm just saying that's not all there is. So we can, like, you know, we just been drawn away from it. It's totally not all there is. And I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you sing. I'm sure you could list 5 songs right now that you sing in the car. You know?
Oh man, I throw it down in the car when no one's listening.
When nobody else is around. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. So, was there anything else you wanted to touch on before?
No, I think just I'm going to hold this card up because it's beautiful, and it's a whole list of all of our current camps. We have more that are not on here that are coming up, but August 6 through 10 is our big week long. There's just only 3 spots left in that camp, and then in October we have Beaver Brook Association. That's Columbus Day weekend. I think those dates are October 5 through 8, and also in October we are offering a restorative yoga and sound healing retreat with some sauntering as well, most likely in the Monadnock region. We don't have a space yet for that, but it's happening, and that's a collaboration with another teacher who is remarkable. Yeah,
it's good.
So summers and fall are awesome.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where do you guys plan on taking it in the future?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, wherever it goes.
Yeah.
And I definitely can see, not that I like the idea of certification, but I definitely can see finding that right person in another locale to start their own little voicings in California, or start a voicings in Colorado that I don't have to personally lead.
Yeah.
You know, I could definitely see it going there. And I trust that it's a remarkable thing, and it will grow organically, and it'll go where it needs to go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You should check out the book, The Starfish and the Spider.
Ooh.
It's a really good book, and it talks about leaderless organizations. So, you know, kind of like the concept of, they talk about Alcoholics Anonymous a lot, where there are groups but there's no real leaders, and how they're very, very powerful, and they like spread very organically and very quickly. And it sounds like this could be something that really works on like that type of level too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to check that book out.
Yeah, It's really good. So how do people get in touch with you, kind of learn a little more?
Voicingscamp.com and or the Facebook page, Voicings Adventure Singing Camp on Facebook. Yeah, those are the two funnels at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, ditto. Thanks for having me. Really, really great to talk with you.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, like I said, I'm just glad there are other options, because a lot of what I see online is people who are like, there's nothing to do. What do we do? Blah, blah, blah. And so I like having things like these on the show where I can be like, go check out this.
Excellent.
Go to this place. Go do something that people think you'll have to go to Manchester and find something to do. I'm like, well, there are options.
Right, yeah. Excellent. Well,
really
thanks
good.
for bringing those options up to the surface.
Yeah.
Helping them bubble up.
Absolutely.
Super cool. Yeah.
So, again, thank you.
Awesome.
And everyone else, thank you so much for watching. And we're going to roll out here. Everyone have a great day. That's it for today, everyone. But it doesn't have to end there. Head over to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or iHeartRadio to get more from New Hampshire's top entrepreneurs.